privilege to be able to actually talk about Christian Science when it's appropriate in a classroom of actors or dancers or just anybody, and really incorporate values and sort of the higher purpose of an art form, in my case, with teaching and just interacting with students. So that makes it extraordinarily, if not completely unique, I think, in the world, and it makes it very exciting for me as a teacher. No matter how challenging the topic is, no matter how much they think they really just can't do it, because that sometimes happens in the performing arts, it's that feeling of self-doubt and fear, is that indeed they can. And they can not just because they have this innate ability, which I really believe every student does, but because they're being given tools through these classes with which they can express themselves. And of course, expression in theater and dance is really the end goal, is to find a really clear avenue through which you can express a thought, an emotion, a value. And I would love them to be able to feel that they had the tools, they have the innate gifts, and they can do that in their lives, whether they become actors or dancers or whatever. There are opportunities throughout most of the classes to present your work to one another, to present your work within the class structure and the class, the safety of the class, to the professor as well as to each other. We really build that into our syllabi in almost every class that we have that's a performance-based class. We also have built in, just the last few years, we've developed something called Theater and Dance at Davis, which is a wonderful workshop venue, we call it, 5th and 9th week of every quarter, where students can present their work, and it's workshop work, which means that it's not finished. It's informal. They can present it to the community this 5th and 9th week in pretty much any state it's in that they're comfortable performing, and that's a really wonderful venue. A lot of our classes take advantage of it, and a lot of our students just decide, I'm going to choreograph something and let's see how it goes, and they present something that's often about half done, but it's worthy of being up there, and it gives them some feedback, which is very, very important for composers, for choreographers, and it's very important for anyone who's performing. So that's another venue. We have some others. We have a lot of productions going on all year, so that's a very ingrained part of our curriculum, where students get to practice what they've been taught. In this department, which is all I can speak to, challenge students on a very intrinsic level. We say, well, that's your comfort zone, but that's not good enough. You need to go beyond that, and let me help you go beyond that. And all these other students are going to help you go beyond it too. So sometimes that deals more with our emotional rigor, if you will. Sometimes it's intellectual rigor, where you're really just not able to grasp some concept, and you're being asked to do it. And so I do think that a lot of the classes are very rigorous. I think that one of the things that makes it sort of contextually rigorous here is that you can't hide. You cannot hide at Principia. Even in the biggest classes, you know, I had 47 students in my dance production this last winter, so that was a big group, but you couldn't even hide there. And I think that when you can't hide in an academic setting, it's rigorous. You have to know your stuff. You need to be willing to engage and to share, and you need to be trying your best. And that is definitely an expectation. I look at every student who walks into my classes, whatever class it is, and I expect them to do more. So if they're a very experienced dancer, it's not good enough for them to do what they've come in able to do. They're going to have to improve.